So here are 15 tips, paying homage to my favorite methodology, which is Prince 2, which is a checklist methodology.
But Bam,
Yes.
Bam, yeah, we have some. If you can try talking closer to the microphone, and so we can maybe improve the audio just a little bit.
Okay. What about now?
I think this one is better. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay then.
Go
Okay,
ahead,
so
Bam. Thank you.
number one, very important, you communicate a thorough project overview and timeline. For those of you familiar, no, and I think there are some participants here who have already attended our project management foundation, we always emphasize the importance of having a project charter. That project overview is the project charter. It's like some may call it an outline of the project. Some may call it, for those companies who are submitting the project charter, you may call it a project proposal. Now, when you get your team together, kahit na yung matagal mo ng team, right now, there may be some members who are not used to being remote. You have to revisit your project charter. Now, for those of you who are not used to creating a project charter, a project charter is one of the most important documents that you're going to be producing when you start a project. Now, a project, like what you said, what is a project, by the way? A project is what? It is a unique endeavor undertaken in order to accomplish a business goal. Meaning to say, if it is something that you have been doing before, then this is not a project. It is a unique endeavor. It is something that has never been done before. Therefore, it is very important to communicate all the aspects of the project to all the team members and ensure that everyone understands each and every aspect of the project charter. When it comes to the timeline, the roles, the goals, the objectives, everyone should be aware. And you have to be asking your team members. And this is not just, unlike before, we were so used to just submitting the project charter, distributing, disseminating the project charter to all the project team members. Ngayon, we do not have that luxury. We also do not have the luxury of just saying, I already emailed it. We cannot do that. You have to talk to them verbally, either through Zoom, just like now, through over the phone, over your local landline. You have to discuss it and ensure that each and every person understands all the elements of your project charter, especially the business directives. Ibig sabihin yung mga objectives ng project mo. Napaka-importante nun. And the timeline also. Okay, so gather everyone and discuss it. And if it should be an open discussion, just in case that there are some points that others don't. Kasi pwedeng some members of your project team, medyo nahihiya lang sila magtanong eh. So it would be good if it is an open discussion and everybody talks about it. So now, let's go to number 2. In the project charter, we discussed that there are some roles that have to be clarified. Now, the roles that you had before, especially if, for example, you submitted the project charter before the pandemic, before the ECQ, baka mamaya ngayon nag-iba na yung rules eh. Kasi whatever they had, whatever strengths they have had before, just like yung leadership, di ba? Yung sabi natin, pwede yung leadership dati, ang galing-galing niya mag-lead, tapos biglang ngayon, medyo nangangapa siya. Some of the members, some of your members may have, may be able to shine, and some members may be able to be a bit, may lag a bit when it comes to doing projects remotely. So maybe you have to revisit again the roles and responsibilities that you previously assigned. And it may not also be their skills. Pwede din kasi their capabilities when it comes to technology. Kasi pwedeng in their home or in their remote location, they do not have the technological capability of doing the project. Kasi pwedeng mahina yung internet, pwedeng shared yung laptop nila or shared yung desktop nila. So maybe you have to reassign now something that is very urgent to another person, and then just assign this SME or subject matter expert that you used to that used to have this responsibility to that person with the technological ability to be able to do the project remotely. Okay, then you have to also to communicate to them the new deadlines. Kasi pwedeng, di ba, sa project charter natin, bukod sa roles and responsibilities, meron tayong deadlines ng bawat isang phase. You have to communicate to them that, oh, now, baka nagbago ng konti yung deadline. So, very important yan. And every time that you have meetings, you remind them of the deadlines. Okay, so, no questions so far?
So far, so good, Bam.
Okay, then we can proceed. We are still on time. Okay, so. Number 3. This is true for those of you who have projects with project team members and stakeholders, hindi lang project team members, but also stakeholders who are situated in a place with a different time zone. Sometimes we overlook, or we tend to take for granted the time, local time. And we sometimes think na, okay lang tumawag sa kanila kasi ano naman ngayon 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 during office hours. But then, remember na kung international yung time nila, baka tulog pa sila. So, don't expect that they will be able to answer whatever urgent questions that you have there. So, I know that this is a given and people always take note of this one, but it is very important talaga, and this has proven a very useful thing for me to have a time clock. Saka yung parang ganito. Saan na ba yung picture ko? Parang ganito. This one. Sorry. Yan. Parang ganyan. Dashboard. Para you would know kung anong oras na ba sa kanila. Even in sending emails, you know how, kung bakit hindi ba nila sinasagot yung email mo. So, napaka-importante niyan. We have also to remember that maybe right now we are no longer within the confines of the 8 to 5 schedule, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. schedule. Because unlike before, wherein we had the luxury of having everyone in one enclosed environment, remember that they may be with you or they may be in their homes or in a different location. And there are a lot of distractions. Pwedeng nandiyan yung kanilang mga anak that they have to talk to. They may be distracted also by the use of technology. Somebody else is going to be using their computer. So maybe now you have to revisit also the perfect time. It may not be 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It may be 5 p.m. up, diba? Like for example, me. When is the best time? Especially for those homes na hindi naman centralized, sobrang init. Kamusta sa Cebu, Jong? Kamusta ang weather?
Yeah, mainit din.
Di ba ang hirap magtrabaho kapag sobrang mainit?
Yep.
And most of us don't have the luxury of having an aircon within the area where we're working. So maybe the most flexible time or the best time for them to produce their deliverables is during siguro mga 7 o'clock p.m. to up, no? So you have to discuss that also. Remember, right now results are very important. So what time is going to be most conducive for the team to talk and to meet and to deliver? So remember again, we should be results oriented. So if there are no questions, I will proceed to the next.
Bam, we're getting comments, feedback from the chat group if you can still further increase your volume.
Oh no. Okay. Wala yung assistant ko. What about now? If I do this?
That one is better. I think that one is better. Yeah.
Okay. Wait
All
lang.
right. Thanks, ma'am.
Okay. Kasi I
Okay.
usually use my my desktop, but I'm using Ted's laptop right now.
Oh,
So okay, so number 4, no? Wait lang. Let me try this now. Okay. Integrate project. What about now?
yeah, that's better, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay. Then, no questions pa? Time
No question.
zone. Oo, yun. Remember, di ba, yung first natin, communicate, no? Very important yan. Yung project charter. So, I don't know if everyone is using a project charter, but please create the project charter before the start of the project. Again, ano ba yung project life cycle? Di ba yung project life cycle natin? Sabi nga natin, a project has a beginning, a middle, and end. That's one of the characteristics of a project. A project is unique, no? A project always has a time, cost, and scope, right? Yung life cycle natin is yung beginning, middle, and end. It is composed of initiate, yun yung you're going to start a project. So, hindi ka pa nag-start, pero yung initiate. Dito ka gumagawa ng project charter during the initiate stage. No? So you have to, before you start a project, you always create a project charter. Yung number 2 natin, sabi natin na kailangan i-revisit natin yung roles and responsibilities. Kung ano man yung roles and responsibilities that we previously put in the project charter may no longer be that one, right? Yung number 3 natin, kailangan meron tayong kahit pa paano dashboard. Diba? Kailangan i-dashboard natin para we can be respectable of the time zones of our other remote team members. And it is also very important that we be flexible when it comes to time. Kasi pwedeng hindi na yung 8 to 5 na yung tindahan. So, okay, number 4, for those of you who still do not have a project management platform, now is the perfect time to start doing that one because it's so difficult to be using different applications in order to collate and to gather the data. Remember dati, we were still in one location, local geographic location yan. And then pwedeng we're using the server of the company. Eh ngayon hindi, cloud-based tayo or internet-based. So ano ba yung platform na project management na at one glance you can get the data of this other person that is safe kasi most of us syempre kasi mahal to ang platform ng project management medyo lalo na yung analytical platform no pero nandiyan ka ba wala okay papa-increase ko sa dapat yung sound medyo mahal to so we have to be very wary when it comes to information security especially if yun how's my volume? Can you increase my volume? Hindi daw
It's
Okay.
better
na ngayon.
Yeah, a whole lot better now. Yeah.
Okay, a lot better. Okay, so yun yung project management platform, napaka-importante nito. Invest in a project management platform now. A safe project management platform. There are a lot out there, like Trello, na libre, pero ang hirap nito kasi yung data mo nasa labas and they can get your information. Remember, web-based yan So whatever you put in as your information for the freeware is not your information but belongs to a lot of, especially the owner of that application. They can easily see your information. Now also, in sending information and data to your remote team, make sure that you're using an email that belongs to your company that is secure and encrypted. If you're still using Gmail right now, my God, you have to stop doing that one because information is king. Information is your asset as of the moment, especially during this environment. And we don't know kasi pwede mo sabihin na, uy, okay lang kasi tapos na yung pang ilang wave na ba daw ngayon yung hindi totoong wave. Di ba? Ang dami ng wave pero this is not going to end until we get a vaccine. So pwedeng anytime if the number of cases increase again and then they might announce na naman. So you may be saying na, ay hindi, I will not invest in one right now. But The moment that somebody gets wind of your information, your company is going to be in peril. Information is king right now. Invest in a platform that is secure, encrypted, not only for your emails, but also for all the data that you have, all the information. What's the difference between data and information? Information is process data. Kahit kasi yung data lang eh, they can discern something out of that data eh, kahit hindi pa siya information. So, invest in this one. Ang hirap din kasi na yung meron kang iba-ibang apps, ang hirap ipagsama, lalo na ngayon na you are remote. So, everybody will be struggling and time is of the essence. So, if there's no question, I will proceed to the next.
Go ahead, Bam. Yeah, we're good. Thank you, Bam.
Okay, ensure frequent communication. Remember, diba you have, din sa start, initiate, diba you have your project lifecycle, you have the initiate, then you have to start, then you have monitor and control, and then you have close. Yun yung project lifecycle mo. You create the project charter in the initiate stage. When you are already starting to plan, you go to the next ready. You create now your PID or your project initiation document. So iba yun sa project charter ah. Yung project charter mo, ito yung sinasubmit mo dun sa project board. Okay, ito yung parang proposal. Sinubmit mo sa project board na yung project charter, nandyan yung overview. Diba? After that one, kapag in-approve nila yung project charter, you now create a project initiation plan. Ito yung bago yung detalyeng plan, no? In your PID, you now have a portion there that you call your communication plan. Okay. Yung communication plan nyo ngayon dito is composed of lahat ng project team members, pati, I'll correct myself. Not only the project team members, but also all the stakeholders of your project. Ano ba yung stakeholders? Sino yung stakeholders? Yung stakeholders, hindi lang ito kasama yung project team. Lahat na involved dun sa project. Pati suppliers, pati yung project sponsor, yung board, yung mga, kasi di ba one of the characteristics of the project is it is cross-organizational eh. Ibig sabihin, you might be needing the help of the accounting department. Stakeholder pa rin to. Ang stakeholder, lahat ng those people who will be affected by the success or failure of the project. So you create the communications plan na lahat ng pangalan ng stakeholder mo nandun. Ano yung kanilang email address, ano yung kanilang cellphone number, anong oras yung kaya mo kailangan ng time, yung clock eh. Anong oras ang pinaka-importante, anong alternative email nila, lahat yun nakalagay. And this now should be available to all the other stakeholders. That way, if they need to verify any information, they will just go to the communication plan, or contact information, titingnan nila ngayon how to get in contact with this one. Aside from that, in your communication plan, you should already set the time of your regular meetings, especially for the Zoom, whether it's Zoom, whether it's online, whether it's face-to-face, okay? And always encourage them na, sige, and give them also a background of what happened during the previous communication time. Sabi mo, okay, during our last meeting, we talked about this. And then make sure also that at the end of the meeting, you send them also parang yung mga pointers kung ano yung pinag-usapan during the last meeting. And everybody, kaya kailangan meron kayong platform. Kasi lahat ng pinag-usapan nun, dun sa isang project management platform, you already have a receptacle of all the information that's there. So they just simply have to go there. Pero kapag iba-iba yung apps nyo, iba-iba yung mga program nyo, ang hirap para hanapin yung certain communication, minutes of the meeting. Okay, so if there's no other question, now is 1:44, we're still in time. We will go to number 6.
Go ahead, Bam. Yes.
Okay. Tama ba? Number 6 na ba ako? Number 6 na, no? Okay. Thank each person for their hard work. Okay. When you create your project, let's go back to the the project life cycle. In the project life cycle, sabi natin, we have the initiate project, we have the start the project, we have the monitor and control the project, and then we have to close the project. At the end of each of the stages, it may be called a milestone, or pwedeng meron kang milestone within each. No? What is a milestone? A milestone is a phase in your project that you can celebrate kasi nagawa mo. Now, iba-ibang milestone eh. There's no set rule. Pwedeng, example ng project, a wedding. Kunyari, wedding yung project. Ano. Diba, pag hinimay-himay ko, kasi I'm used to product planning eh, like in Prince 2. Deliverable base. Ano yung deliverables for a wedding? Meron kang wedding, meron kang ceremony, meron kang reception, meron kang, ano ba? Within that reception, meron kang entertainment, meron kang food, meron kang beverage, no? Then you may have your entourage. Pwedeng your entourage is part of the ceremony or pwedeng hiwalayan. It all depends on how you plan. Now, if you're going to take a look at it, the mother milestone is yung ceremony, yung reception, and pwedeng picture taking or whatever, no? Yung, hindi ako marunong gumawa ng wedding eh. Yung at the end, no? Some may consider this, the ceremony, as a milestone. Ibig sabihin, paglakat ng mga details nun, natapos ko, celebrate ako. But there are some that want to celebrate a milestone in getting the church, that is a milestone. In getting the pastor or the priest, that is another milestone. So it all depends on you. So in every milestone that I already set as a project leader, I want to celebrate and thank each and every member of my team. Why? Especially ngayon pwede mo sabihin na, okay lang yan, alam na nila yan, na thankful ako. Pero remember, we are in a different environment right now. A lot of our project team members may be experiencing, although we don't know, stress. They may be experiencing fear. Di ba sabi nga nila, ang dami ngayon na medyo may problema when it comes to coping mentally with the situation. Kasi unknown eh. We don't know next year what's going to happen. We don't know whether yung, knock on wood, we don't know whether yung kilala natin buhay pa next month. Di natin alam yun. So, all of us are experiencing fear. We also don't know whether the company that we're working for will still be able to weather this storm, will be able to fund the project. So we are all in this stress mode, we're all in this environment of fear and environment of pain. So saying thank you for each milestone, celebrating, will play a big part in boosting the morale of your team members. Okay, and you cannot do this unless you learn and know everyone. Whenever I give a lecture when it comes to leadership, I tell them about the 5 levels of leadership. The first level is you have to be given the right. Ibig sabihin, kailangan na designation ka at alam nila. Kaya I also established my right at the start of the seminar because that's very important. When you start your project team and you create your project charter, you have to make them know that I am like this, I can do this because I can be your mentor, and this gives me the right. The second level is forming relationships. When I say forming relationships, I do not mean it in the different sense of the word. What I mean about it is that you have to know your people. Not only know their names, not only know their time, not only know their skills, but get to a point to not only talk to them as a group, but also talk to them one-on-one. Get to know their fears, get to know their strengths, their weaknesses, what they are experiencing right now, because things may be different from when you started the project. Pwedeng iba na yung nararamdaman nila ngayon. And some of them may have reached sabi nga nila sa Peter Principle, yung point of inefficiency. So you have to revisit this. No? You have to talk to them again and tell them, paano ba ako makakatulong? Di ba? How can we help you? Kasi baka mamaya, gustong-gusto nilang tapusin yung project, pero unfortunately, hindi nila masabi sa iyo na naputol na pala yung internet nila, no? So naka-dial up na lang sila ngayon or something like that, na hindi na sila naka-fiber. So maybe now is the best time to renew them. Diba? So any questions? If none, I will proceed.
Yes, thanks, Bam. Bam, if there's a way for you to zoom in further on your slides, I think some of them couldn't clearly see the presentation. Yeah, that's better. Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. Yep.
Okay. Don't worry because most naman na nandito sa loob, I express verbally. But just tell me if you cannot see. Okay. Number 8. Okay. This is now a very, how do we call this one? Controversial message or point that I'm going to make. Protect your team. Diba naglabas sila ngayon na, o sige, hindi na siya ECQ, MECQ na si ngayon. So, pwede na kayong pumasok para dun sa mga companies that allow your workforce to go to the office. Tapos naglabas ngayon ng Department of Transportation ng directive. Nung una, na o sige, wag yung pag wala kayong shuttle service, wag kayong magpapasok, remote pa rin. Tapos naglabas na naman sila ng panibago na hindi responsibility ng company na mag-provide ng shuttle service. Tapos there are companies also out there right now that don't provide insurance or the protective equipment for their team members. Remember what I communicated at the start of the seminar. The delineator of success of companies right now are no longer the products. It's not your deliverable. It's not the product that you create or kapag waterfall kayo yung deliverable nyo at the end, kapag stage gate kayo yung deliverables in between. No? It's the people that matter. Your people that matter. And this is the time that this is going to be tested. And you may, if you do not protect your team, you may be losing that biggest asset that you have in your company, your people. So, revisit your risk register. Tingnan mo ngayon, kung kasama ba yan sa risk plan mo. Nilagay mo ba yung insurance? Or kailangan ba i-reshuffle mo? For those who have transportation, their own personal transportation, baka kailangan gawin mo sila yung tiga-deliver ng work package na kailangan mo nito dun sa client, right away. So you have to redo this one. Do not think na kailangan namin to produce this So cook or by crook, do or die, pumasok kayo. Wala tayong budget to do the insurance. Wala tayong budget to prepare. I know that some companies, this is a very sensitive topic, but I have to put it out there because your people are in pain. A lot of your team members are in pain right now. When I say pain, it doesn't mean physical pain only. No, it may mean emotional pain. And they all fear what is going to happen, and they fear for their safety. Because jobs, you can have another project, another job, but life is of the utmost importance right now. So protect your team. That is very important. If you have to come up with an insurance, if you have to come up with a safety pack that you have in your office right now, then now is the perfect time to do so. Tapos, you revisit your risk register. Diba, we were talking about a project charter, excuse me for that. In our project charter, we have our overview risk plan. When it comes to our PID or project initiation document, mas detalya na yung risk plan natin. Ano ba yung risk plan? Ano yung mga risk? Ano yung how do you call this one? Ano yung pinaka importance nito or impact, di ba? Ano yung probability nito? At tapos ano yung plano natin just in case na mangyari itong risk na to? Yun yung risk plan mo, no? Tapos, may budget yan, yung mitigation mo. Yung paano mo yung mitigation, this is your solution to that risk problem. So you already allocated a certain amount for that one. Baka kailangan i-increase mo yun. Lagay mo din yung insurance. Lagay mo din yung others kasi pupunta din ang team mo for that one. Okay, so questions so far. Jong.
All good, Bam. Thank you. All good, Bam. Thank you.
Naman. Okay. So, like what I was saying, revisit your risk register. Very important this. This point is very important. No? Tapos, i-represent nyo, present again, to represent it to your project board. Kailangan to Leadership in action tayo ngayon, leadership in crisis. Alam ko na mahirap na humingi ng budget sa project board, pero kailangan We have to ask an additional budget na nakalagay sa ating risk register in order for us to protect our team, in order for us to protect our most valuable asset of our project. So we need to do this. Remember also, kasi pwede nyo sabihin, baka mamaya matigil yung project, dadating tayo dyan. Masyadong mahal kasi yung insurance Masyadong mahal kasi yung magpro-provide ako ng kotse para sa lahat ng team members. This is where leadership comes in. Taking a look at your overall project, finding out how to, sino ba i-assign ko na pwedeng na yung mga hindi high risk. Kung yung dati, although pwedeng yung SME mo dati na in charge sa yung subject matter expert mo na in charge sa deliverable, pwedeng high risk group siya Meron na siyang high blood, medyo nasa 50 plus na siya, o kaya pwedeng bata pero may asthma. So baka kailangan i-revisit mo yan, o kaya i-increase mo, o kaya bigyan mo siya ng insurance kasi ang mahal magkasakit ngayon. It may reach from, tanda mo, pag na-hospital to, pinaka-minimum niyan, 2 milyon. Diba? Pero ang insurance magkano? Pag nag-group insurance ka, or that will only cost how much? Pero, ang tingin mo dan, that now goes to number 10. Baka mamaya, i-pause or freeze mo yung, consider this, na maybe now is the best time to freeze your project or just pause, diba? Until the time na it is safe already for them to travel or go to the place where they're going to submit the deliverables. Diba? So have conversations. Yes.
Yes, Bam. There's a quick question here. Going back to your tip number 6 on project communication.
Let's go there.
Yes, so I think tip number 6 is on how do we communicate with the members of the team.
Number 6 ba or?
Yeah, I think I think this is in relation to number 6, by the way.
Okay.
How do you, what would you do if a member of your team actually doesn't contribute? I mean, how do you?
Okay, very good point. Very good point. Okay, that's a very good point. I'm sorry, Jong, I didn't let you finish. But how do I what?
How do you communicate to your team member when that team member doesn't actually contribute or doesn't really perform or executes his task?
The task assigned to them,
Yes, in relation to the project, yeah.
Okay. Di ba meron tayo, let's go back again dun sa phase ng mga life cycle ng project. We have, again, I know that I'm redundant, but I want to stress this on it. Di ba you have your initiate, then you have your start, then you have your monitor and control, then you have your close, right? At the start pa lamang, you have, at the start, you initiate pa, hindi bago yung start. You have, di ba sabi natin, you have to get to know your team. So you have to know if sila ba yung pwedeng, yung inassign mo sa kanila crucial, pero sila yung pwedeng medyo ayaw. But are you talking about na yung biglang nag-iba yung dati naman responsible siya? Dalawa yan Dati accountable siya or from the start pa lang hindi siya accountable siya?
I think either way, when you see your your team member maybe having problems in delivering his probably output or couldn't perform, or in other words, bottom line performance issues as far
Okay.
as project management is concerned.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on this as far as, you know, the best way to communicate with the team member? Are you going to
Okay.
coach them, mentor them, or how are you going to intervene?
Okay. Kasi from the start pa lang, if kunyari yung starting first pa lamang, yung in assigning, no? In assigning, you already know them eh. So you know na kung sino yung pagpa-partner mo. Kasi now is the perfect time na mag-partnership sa mentoring eh. You mentor yung one-on-one. So hindi lang ikaw, hindi lang yung frequent, yung communication plan niya na yung mag once a week, group, tapos every twice a week, meron kang person-to-person, or yung one-on-one na gagawin mo. You should also be assigning at the start of the project to monitor. So ang ginawa mo, minultiply mo yung job mo as a project manager or as a team leader or as a project leader. You multiplied it. So mentoring now plays a big part in this managing remote teams. Now, yun yung at the start. Okay, yun yung kaya kanina I was asking whether are you talking about somebody at the start of a project or someone who used to be very good and then right now biglang hindi na sila nagde-deliver. Now let's go to the second scenario. Someone who used to deliver, especially on when you were local, meaning to say that kapag nasa loob ng office, tapos biglang tumigil, biglang nag-iba. There are reasons, deeper reasons, root causes for this one. It may be mental, when it may be emotional, no? It may be coping mechanism. They may also be experiencing some problems, personal problems, or it may be technological. Pwede kasing nahihirapan sila, pwedeng tatlo silang gumagamit ng laptop na hindi mo naman alam. You have to know them. Kaya we have, let me just go to that slide. At the start.
So I think you mentioned that on tip number 7 also, Bam, like get to know them, what are strengths, weaknesses, issues, as far as your team members are concerned.
Saka that does not end at the start of the project. Kasi we're so used to the waterfall methodology. Tayo, ever since, talagang gusto natin waterfall eh. Gusto natin na start of project, lahat ng planning gagawin ko yan. Pagkatapos monitor control na lang ako. Pagkatapos close sa project, tapos na. Kaso hindi ganyan ang buhay eh. Kailangan agile tayo eh. Kailangan ngayon mag-iba tayo ng methodology. Hindi na tayo ganun eh. Yung planning natin, getting to know yung assigning roles, lahat ng ginagawa natin at the start of the project, gagawin natin all throughout the life cycle. We have to really know our team. We have to talk to them again. Lahat yun kaya mahilig ako sa stage gate eh. Mahilig ako yung malaking project, hinihimay ko yan. Para, tapos ito, pag natapos na ito, pupunta ako sa second. Importante ito.
Bam, it's good that you mentioned about that model, the waterfall. Maybe for the interest of those members in the audience who don't understand what waterfall is, the waterfall, of course, is one of the models used in project management where you proceed to the next stage as soon as you have completed the previous phase. So it's like you work towards a progression of a completed set of activities. What Bam is saying here is that you need not necessarily follow the waterfall, meaning you can be more agile in terms of choosing what activities to do instead of following a logical order. So it's a case-to-case basis, right?
Oo, kasi sometimes hindi ko minamaliit ang waterfall pero mahirap ngayon mag-waterfall ngayong remote eh. Yung waterfall kasi, okay, just to be very clear, and I'm sorry kung medyo tayo lumampas but I want this to be very clear. It doesn't mean that waterfall methodology is bad. Ano ba yung waterfall? Parang waterfall, di ba? Lahat ng plano gagawin mo at the start, yung sa taas. Tapos, itetest mo lang yung product mo at the end kapag tapos na lahat ng paano kunyari pagka-test mo may mga problema, di balik ka na naman sa planning stage, di ba? Sa start na naman. Costly to. Tapos, pero you will do this, you will make use of the waterfall methodology for the short projects and those projects that you're so used to doing already because it saves on time. Ang agile naman or stage gate or use case methodology or Prince2, ito yung mga hinihimay mo yung project sa maliliit na project. Tapos, para ka nag-mini waterfall sa bawat isang milestone. Tapos hindi ka pupunta sa second stage unless lahat ito. Tapos i-review mo na muna. Dun sa second stage, i-review mo lahat ng mga ginawa mo dun sa first. Just in case na may mga problema, balik ka na naman dun sa stage. So, circular siya. Hindi siya waterfall, pero circular.
Thank you for that. Thank you for making that very clear. On remote project management, what would you recommend? A waterfall or an agile project management model?
It all depends eh. Like I mentioned, hindi ko minamaliit ang waterfall eh. For short projects, kunyari yung project, ano ba yung mga, bigyan ko kayo ng checklist. Tanungin niyo sa sarili niyo, itong project bang ganito may katulad na dati na ginawa ko? Alam na bala ng buong team ko to. Meaning to say you're used to that kind of project. And is time of the essence. Ibig sabihin, uy, baka mamaya kailangan tapusin ko na to at kailangan i-deliver ko na kagad to. Pag ganun, pag short lang siya, no, alam na ng team mo kung paano gawin yung project na yon. Andiyan na lahat ng mga inputs. Meaning to say, lahat ng ingredients. Kumbaga, kunyari sa cake, no, andiyan na ba lahat ng ingredients ng cake ko? Pag nandiyan na lahat, baking na lang pag-usapan natin for it to be clear. Kunyari, baking a cake. May recipe ka na ba? Hasa ka na ba doon sa recipe mo? Marunong ko ba mag-bake ng cake, no? Andiyan na ba lahat ng ingredients mo? Pag ganon, waterfall ang gagawin ko para mabilis. Kasi sanay na ako eh. Kapag naman, cake ulit, no? Ingredients, ay hindi, bibili pa ako. Hindi ko pa alam kung merong available na to. Ay, hindi ako marunong masyado mag-bake ng cake. Matututo pa lang ako. Ay, wala pa akong oven. Pag ganon, stage gate ang gagawin ko. Kasi, ang gagawin ko, titigil ko yung clock hanggang sa mabili ko yung oven, hanggang sa matuto akong gumawa ng cake, hanggang sa mabili ko yung ingredients. So, it's dependent. If all the elements of your project are readily available, do the waterfall. If you have a doubt, then go stage gate. Why? Bakit? Kasi time is of the essence eh. Di ba mahilig kasi ang Pilipino na time-based tayo eh. I'm sorry, John, go. As you were saying. John? Yes? Hello,
Yeah, go ahead. That's clear, Bang. Thank you.
Okay, so clear na. Or
yes.
Do you have time? Kasi I want to do the analogy nung, di ba mahilig kasi tayo na yung pag gumagawa tayo ng timeline, no? Di ba sa project charter natin, yung timeline natin, we always base it on calendar days. Do not base, that's one thing that I have to emphasize in remote, managing your team remotely. Calendar days don't mean anything. Stop using calendar days. Use Mondays. Mandays, no? Tama ba spelling ko? Mondays, no? Ibig sabihin, you will only create your timelines based on the working hours, not the calendar. Kasi you stop the timing until you have all the inputs of your next stage. Eh. You're dependent on your deliverables, you're dependent on your inputs. Eh. Nag-deliver ba sa inyo yung supplier? Nakuha ba nyo? Paano kapag gusto nyo gumawa ng cake? Biglang si Shopee o Lazada hindi nakapag-deliver ng kanilang ingredients. So, dependent ka doon. Kailangan mo nang i-deliver yung cake in 5 days. Biglang hindi pala na-deliver ng Lazada o ng Shopee. Ano yun? Nasaan na ba tayong number? Nakalimutan ko.
All right. That's clear, Bam. Please go ahead, Bam.
I'm so sorry. What number were we already in? Number?
I think you were in somewhere around 8 or 9, if I'm not mistaken.
Tapos na tayo sa pause and freeze. 11 na tayo. Yung pause and freeze. Does everyone understand this one? Na just in case yung risk masyadong mahal. Kasi di ba sabi natin na mag-ano tayo insurance, protect our people, mag-ano tayo ng transportation. Kapag masyadong mahal yon o kaya pwedeng yung supplier natin di makapag-deliver katulad ng sa pag-bake ng cake ng Lazada. Consider now pause or freeze. And then talk to your board. Very important yan. Kasi yung cost of implementation yung asan na ba dito yung yan? Pwede ba mag-drawing dito? Yan. Kasi yung cost of implementation kasi yan, napakalaking bagay. So, depende yan. Baka kailangan mamaya ng konti, mag-pause and freeze ka. Okay, so, clear all drawings. Okay, so now, let's go to, okay. Bakit ang project sinisimulan? What is the essence of a project? Why do you do a project? It's because it is of use for your business. Again, let us define what a project is. A project is a unique endeavor undertaken in order for you to accomplish a goal, a business goal. Kaya ka nag-umpisa ng project kasi meron kang kikitain. Pwedeng hindi monetary, pwedeng in terms of reputation. It can be intrinsic. It can be something that is not tangible. No? So, titingnan mo ngayon, ay masyadong mahal yung insurance. Ay, masyadong mahal yung technology na kailangan para dun sa aking mga team members na makapag-communicate remotely. Ay, hindi makapag-deliver yung aking mga supplier. Ay, hello, sandali lang. Kasi hindi kaya nang gawin nito ngayon kasi mental stress yung iba. Update nga yung business plan mo. Yung business plan mo kasi, ito yung balik ulit tayo doon sa stage ng project. Di ba you have yung initiate, start. Ang business plan comes before you create a project charter. Okay? Ito yung business plan. Ano ba yung reason kung bakit mo ginawa yung project na yun? Ang gumagawa ng business plan, hindi yung project manager. The business plan was submitted by your project sponsor. The project sponsor is part of the project board. Your project board is composed of a representative of your main supplier, a representative of your main client, a representative of your sponsor, your sponsor. Ito yung project. Pag sinabi ko ditong it may be more than one person. Ito yung project board mo. Yung project sponsor mo, ang nag-a-assign ng project leader or project manager. So, siya yung gumagawa ng business plan. Binibigay niya ngayon to sa project leader or project manager. Yung project manager ang gumagawa ng project charter. Ang mangyayari ngayon nito, yung project manager or the project leader will go back to the project sponsor and ask them, okay pa ba yung business plan natin? Baka nag-iba na yung ating mga deliverables. Kasi ganito yun na nangyayari ngayon. Gagawa ngayon siya ng cost-benefit analysis para sa kanyang project sponsor. Napaka-importante nito. So it is the job of the project manager or the project leader to create, to redo a cost-benefit analysis, submit this now to your project sponsor, so the project sponsor now can resubmit the business plan to the project board. And the project board now will report on this one, go back to the project manager, and then tell them, oops, teka, nag-iba na yung ating business plan. Ito na yung bago mga solutions. Okay, clear on that one? Questions?
Please proceed. Yeah, please proceed, Bam. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. I hope that's very important. I hope no questions. If there are questions, I am very happy to entertain them. Kasi baka mamaya medyo...
if I may, because I think we're kind of pressed for time here.
Okay.
I have some questions here actually, but I'll just throw it at you at the end of your presentation so we can.
Okay then. Number 12, no? Incorporate organizational responses. Kaya nga, Jong, dapat 2 hours. Joke lang. Okay, so number 12, no? Incorporate organizational responses. Kapag meron ka mga subject matter experts out there, no? Yung mga tiga-accounting o kaya yung magaling sa technology na kailangan natin when it comes to remote communication, now is the perfect time to call them. Kasi di ba sabi nga natin, one of the characteristics of a project is it being cross-organizational, di ba? So ngayon yun. Ngayon, you have to call on them. But lalo na yung mga legal experts natin kasi we will be revisiting our contracts yung mga procurement commitments, pati yung contracts mo dun sa deliverables, dun sa client mo, i-redo nyo. And make sure that it is a win-win situation. Hindi yung let's not take advantage katulad ng ibang kumpanya na, uy, ECQ, pwede nating take advantage of this time. Let us be fair because we are all in this together. It will take a community. It will take a nation to get out of this one. A nation that is together. So very important. So maybe we can practice leadership within our own teams and maybe mahawa yung hindi lang yung ating barangay, pati yung ating bansa. Magkaroon tayo ng leader. Okay. So, sorry. Tapos number 14, don't bombard your team with messages and calls. Ngayon, itong computer mo, itong Zoom meeting na to is like your office. So, in case na, pati yung email address mo, it is like your office. Every time that you accept or you send an email message or a chat or whatever, it is like, it's tantamount to opening the door of the person's office. So before sending any information, make sure, number one, that it is correct. Kasi incorrect information can break your project. So make sure that it is correct. And in case it is not, you have to go back right away. Time is of the essence and tell them. Make sure also that it is complete because again, all of us are stressed. So if you send something and then send something again and send something again, it may further stress your project team. So the last one, at the start of this one, this is something also which most often a lot of project leaders forget or they disregard, creating a team glossary. This is important, no? This team glossary is very important also for all the members, not only members, but also stakeholders. Kasi baka mamaya, meron doon ng mga acronyms na hindi nila maintindihan, tapos mahihiya silang magtanong. There may be some terminologies like PRINCE2, like characteristics of a project, iron triangle, na pag sinabi lang, oh, you're not meeting your iron triangle. Ano ba yung iron triangle? Yun yung cost, yung scope, saka yung timeline niya, di ba? So, yun yung iron triangle, tapos meron kang quality, no? Yun yung sa gitna. You have to make this very clear to all the members, not only your immediate team, but also your stakeholders. So you are all talking about the same thing. Because communication, like I said, is one of the most, if not the most important dito sa ating remote, managing our remote teams. Okay, so before I conclude, Jong, any questions? We can entertain some of the questions right now.
All right, sige. Bam, one of the questions here, it was actually posted earlier, is would you, can you recommend the project management tools?
that was I knew it, no? We're not allowed kasi, di ba, to recommend a certain tool, but I have a list, no? And if you want, Jong, we can send it to them, not announce it here, kasi yan ang sa PMI, we cannot recommend actually a particular tool. But what I can tell you, no, is this, I can send you a list. I do not suggest those freeware project management tools. And I don't suggest also having different apps. Kasi a lot of us are using, kunyari, Excel. Tapos biglang may okay lang yun, no? Unfortunately, remote management ang ginagawa natin yun. Ang hirap pagsama-sama nun eh. But there are a lot of perfect project management platforms. This is one way to find out if it is good. Two ways pala.
Okay.
Nagbabayad ka. Number one. May bayad yan. Number two, analytical siya. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya basta receptacle ng information. Nag-a-analyze. It has a function to analyze your information. So, yun yung dalawang parati kong inaano. Ay, pangatlo pala, secure. Siyempre, pag nagbabayad ka, most secure. Pero, manigurado ko na rin na secure yung information.
Okay. And then thank you for that, Bam. Thank you for so we'll just wait for that list and share it with our audience.
I have a favorite one. Pero,
right. Fantastic. Okay. Bam, can you expound on tip number 13?
13.
Yes.
Procurement. Okay. In project, kasi iba yung contract management sa project management, right? Sometimes pinagsasama natin yan eh. A contract plays a big part and contract management is one of the knowledge areas of project management. Procurement, di ba? Procurement is sa mga knowledge areas. And ibig sabihin ng knowledge area, as a project manager, project leader, you have to be good at it. Diba? One of the knowledge areas na kailangan magaling ka gumawa, magbasa, hindi gumawa Kasi ito yung kailangan mong kumuha ng SME, yung lawyer mo. Kailangan marunong kang magbasa ng kontrata. At second, kailangan yung kontrata na ginagawa mo is for the good of all. No? Ibig sabihin, yung team members mo hindi nalalagay sa alanganin. Tingnan mo ngayon, kasi yung kontratang ginawa nyo at the start of the project and you approve, di ba? Remember, a contract, although sabi nga nila, too late the hero pag na-sign mo na yung contract, but contracts can be amended. Change is inevitable right now You have to be very fair in this one. So tingnan mo, ano yung timeline? Kasi pwede nakalagay sa kontrata mo, pag hindi dineliver, edi walang sweldo, o kaya wala, pause the project. You have now to talk to your, kaya di ba yung project board? Di ba yung project board? Sino yung project board ulit? Kaya very important yun Yung project board mo may representative ng client, may representative ng supplier, at may representative ng gumagawa, which is your sponsor. Kapag in-establish mo yung project board mo na ganito, madaling kausapin yan. Pero kapag at the start of a project, hindi ka naglagay ng representative or hero mo na in the part of the supplier, in the part of the client, mahihirapan ka ngayon to consider your contracts again or revisit your contracts. Kasi sa contracts mo ngayon, lalo na kapag yung kontrata mo, nakalagay dyan yung timeline na calendar days, ay nako, patay kang bata ka. Pag hindi ka Mondays, ang nilagay mo ka. At kapag in-include mo yung mga deliverables na nakalagay dyan, kasi di ba most of the contracts may nakalagay na parang commitment of deliverables doon. Akong ginagawa ko kasi, okay, this is a tip I have a mother contract, but I have in each stage, hinihimay ko na yung project sa maliliit na nodes ng mga stages. Bawat isang stage, gumagawa ako ng kontrata. Ibig sabihin, saka wala akong yung all-encompassing clause everything that's included is in this contract and that's it and no other I don't put that. That way, I will only start with the second contract kapag lahat ng inputs nito nandito na. So at any one time pwede kong patayin. Lalo na kapag hindi nag-cooperate.
All right. That's good. Thank you, Bam. Here's another question from Miss Rosalinda Torres. She's from the Department of Science and Technology. Here's the question, Bam. I'll just read this. Until when can you consider your team members' personal struggles and concerns at this time of crisis when it comes to completion of your project?
Patience is is a virtue right now. But if it is case to case, gaano bang ka-importante yung team member mo? Number one, yung sobra bang laki ng contribution niya to dun sa make or break ng project. Kapag siya yung delineator, kung siya yung kumbaga pivot ng buong project na yun, ay Diyos ko, patience until magsawa ka kailangan. But kapag hindi naman crucial, revisit this one, Kasi baka naman yung kanyang mga responsibilities sa deliverables, pwede mong i-assign sa iba Again, your people are going to be the most important asset right now. As a leader, the fears, the pains that your people are now experiencing may be new Pwede kasing dati, hindi naman siya ganun, tapos biglang ngayon naging ganyan siya Baka kailangan ngayon lang ng extra care. Parang anak yan Di ba yung dating mong anak na magaling naman, na mabait, na maasikaso, biglang ngayon naging strange ang ugali niya. It's because each of us, di ba sabi nga nila, we're all in this together. We're all experiencing the same thing. No, we're not. Whatever he may be experiencing will not be what you're experiencing. Pwedeng ikaw meron kang computer, meron kang laptop, meron kang asawa nagmamahal sa'yo, meron kang anak na talagang nag-cooperate. Malay mo ba naman araw-araw inaaway siya? Malay mo ba naman na nahihirapan siya doon sa laptop niya? Kaya siguro ganyan ang nangyayari. Talk to them. Now, if it is already affecting 80% of the time when it comes to deliverables, change it. Change the plan. Yes.
I think that's
80-20 tayo, Pareto tayo. Di ba?
Right.
Pareto is my friend in that one.
Okay. I hope Ms. Torres were able to answer your question. I think that's Very straightforward answer, Bam. I like that question.
Yeah,
I like that.
I'm very frank. I'm so sorry, pero talagang kailangan kasi ngayon it may be hurtful sometimes for us, but sometimes we have to hear it Basta kapag 80% of the time, ganito nangyayari sa kanya, edi palit mo.
Yeah. And another question, Bob, still from DOST, from Ma'am Rowena Guzman. So I'll just read her question. Ma'am, can you give us some points to consider or strategies with this new normal po on project management? Case in point po, we do have a community-based project na nasa remote area na medyo mahirap ang signal ng telecom. And travel is prohibited po at this point in time.
Okay. So, paano ngayon yan, di ba? Kasi baka mamaya kailangan tayo mag-pause and freeze. Kapag talagang, you go back to your risk plan. Kapag tinuloy mo ba yung project na yan, pwedeng mas mahal ang gagastusin mo sa ospital ng mga tao mo, or mas mahal ba para bumili ka or magpatayo ng dish doon, ang tawag mo doon, yung satellite dish, di ba? Tingnan mo ngayon kasi, or baka mamaya yung intrinsic value nitong project, kumbaga long-term value ng project na to, okay, edi gawin mo na ngayon. Okay, ang question mo, how to go about handling this one? You assign now, first, number one, make sure that in terms of technology, updated. Kailangan, very important yan. Tingnan mo ngayon muna, gawa kang checklist, tingnan mo yung mga assets na nandun on ground. Technology, facilities, tingnan mo yung people na nandun, di ba? Baka kailangan i-retrain. Turuan mo sila, yung mga tao, in the use of technology. Pero kailangan ma-establish mo muna yung foundation. Foundation, ibig sabihin yung facility for remote managing, yung infrastructure, yung safety ng information. Only then do you proceed dun sa training ng mga tao. After nun, monitoring. Kailangan mag-assign ka ulit ng project team leader dun. Kung dati, isa lang yung team leader or manager, I interrelated the term leader and manager. It means just one thing. So, kapag dati isa lang, mag-assign ka ngayon doon. Mag-isa. Tapos, magkaroon ka ngayon sa communication plan mo ng weekly. Kung pwede nga, o daily daily communication para maano mo sila. Kasi medyo remote yun. Do not proceed. Pause and freeze if you cannot establish the infrastructure and safety of your team.
Okay, thank you, Bam. I think I have last two questions here, but before I throw it at you, Bam, just a quick reminder again on our audience. We already sent the link already for the exit survey, so please don't forget to click on that link. We would like to also know what your thoughts are on this webinar. If there are topics you'd like to suggest, we can take note of that and maybe organize it. So the link is now posted by Mike, my colleague, in the chat group. And as soon as you submit your survey, we will, of course, send to you your certificates of attendance for this webinar. So, Bam, last two questions, I think. So this one is from Miss Elizabeth Aliadel. She asked this question, Bam. Messages and calls are ways to effectively communicate constantly to your team. This is, however, contradicting to tip number 14. Do not bombard your team with messages and calls. Before you answer that, Bam, there's also a follow-up question, I think related to that, from Grace Naseha. She asked this question: is it okay not to respond immediately in Messenger?
Oh no, it's not. It's not okay unless, kaya nga, very important at the start, the project manager should create the communication plan. I will proceed that from there now and then answer the other question. Very important at the start, when you create your project charter, after creating your project charter, and it is approved that you create your PID, project initiation document. In your project initiation document, you have your communication plan. Andun yung mga oras, kung kailan yung best. Pag nakita mo, na magsisend ako ngayon ng message, doon sa part pa lang kasi ang communication is, you have the sender, you have the message, you have the receiver, no? It starts with the sender, Kailangan ikaw muna wari ka, Alam mo na, kasi ano ba yung essence of communication? For your message to be received. Kung alam mo naman pala na, baka mamaya, yung taong nakita ko sa communication plan ko na wala siya dito sa oras na to, or what, di mamaya ko na isend. Ngayon, on the other end, yung sa receiver, if it is of the utmost importance, it all depends on it being critical. If it has to be answered right away, and it is to the betterment or a delineator of the success of the project, it is within the iron triangle. Will it affect the time? Will it affect the cost? Will it affect the scope? Will it affect the quality? Pati yung quadrangle, yung Q sa gitna. Kapag yan, ay sagutin mo kagad. Another one, boss ko ba to? Kung boss ko to, sasagutin ko kagad. Ito ba yung pwede ba akong mawala dito sa project? Sagutin ko kagad. Is this a colleague na meron siyang urgent deliverable that I am a dependent of, yung output ko is a dependent of the deliverable, then sasagutin ko pa. Okay, now, punta ngayon tayo dun sa second one. Contradicting nung isa natin, kasama siya. But that is a very good question, no? Yung emails natin, yes, communication is of the utmost importance. But remember, the pain that people are experiencing right now, the fear, they are being bombarded by all the information. Importante that you ilatag mo sa communication plan mo kung ano yung pinakamagandang oras na magko-communicate kayo, na magsisend. Send emails, send messages. But what I want to stress here, ano nang number nga ba yun? Ano number yun?
That is the tip number...
This one, no?
Yeah, on 14. Do not bombard them with 14, yeah.
14, no? Okay. 14, don't bombard them with a lot. Think twice before hitting the send. Kompleto ba to yung sabi natin, yung checklist natin? Is this complete? Is this correct? Bago ka mag-send, kasi baka mamaya magsisend tayo, ay, mali pala yung sinend ko, kulang pala ng isa, send ulit ako. Ay, tika, mali pala yung sinend ko, may kulang pang isa, send na naman ako. Nakakaano yun eh. Kasi every time, bukas ka ng bukas ng door. So before you send, yes, send them, especially if it is important and vital. Pero think twice. Tingnan mo ngayon, kumpleto ba siya? Tama ba siya? Diba? Pero importante that we stick as much as possible to the communication plan that we had. Yes, have a chat window. Always have that one. But let us not make it para bang ginagawa nating parang group chat na yung kahit ano, kahit na yung mga hindi masyadong vital, i-send natin at i-ask natin. Yung pala answered na pala to ng another person. This reminds me of a meeting that I had before, wherein people were very concerned with talking instead of listening. Now is the perfect time to improve also in our reading and listening and skills. Kasi mahirap ngayon eh. People are easily stressed and easily affected with what is happening. And remember also, ang daming distractions eh. Diba? Hindi katulad dati, lahat tayo pwede nasa isang opisina, walang distraction. Ano natin yan eh? Safety zone natin yung office. Parang ako, pag pumunta ako ng office, ay salamat, walang magulo. Eh pag dito sa bahay, tapos ang daming naririnig ko yung ibon, naririnig ko yung aso na tumatahol. So whatever questions you may be asking, distracted ako. So kapag in-answer ko ngayon to, tapos pupunta ako sa second, tapos in-ask na naman to, baka mamaya na-answer na rin yun. So yes, very good point. Send messages. I'm so glad that you brought that up. Keep on sending because communication is very important. Pero think twice. Make sure na tama yung sinisend before hitting the send.
Thank you, Bam.
Wala na, John?
That's all, Bam. Thank you.
Okay. So, conclude tayo. Conclusion na tayo, John?
Go ahead, Bam. Yes.
Okay. So, or are there any points there that we do not? Do we all understand what the project charter is? Yes, no? Do we all understand what the risk register is? Yes. Do we all understand? Kasi yun yung mga importante, project charter, risk register, communication plan, yung contracts natin, yung procurement plan natin, napaka-importante niyan. Yung ating roles and responsibility, very important, considering pause and freeze, what is a business plan, hindi yung ginagawa ng project manager, pero ang gumawa nun yung project sponsor, very important yan. Tapos, we have to be wary also of the different distractions that we have right now. So again, like what I said at the start of this all, now is, sabi nga nila, this is the new normal, pero sabi daw nila na now this is no longer like before we're in this ECQ, now we have MECQ. But we have to understand that the only reason that we are in MECQ or modified ECQ right now, it's not because it's safe. It's not as safe until they actually find the vaccine. And this working remotely may be not only for the immediate future or the present. This may be something that we have to get used to for a long time. This may be the future. So as leaders, it is now that we have to be able to accumulate the skills to not only be able to lead a face-to-face local team, but to be able to lead a virtual team. Very important kasi job natin yan as a leader, sabi nga natin the best way to lead is if you lead by being adaptable. You have to lead right now by being able to open yourselves up to whatever changes you have to do that are out there. We have to be able to adapt to changes. We have to protect and never forget that we have to protect the most important asset of a corporation, which are your people. We are all in this together. We may not be experiencing the same pains because their pain may not be your pain. And now is the perfect time to be able to expound on the second level of leadership, which is forming relationships. Because only then will we be able to get the third, which is getting results out of this project. And only then will we be able to create other project leaders, which is the fourth level of leadership, which is reproducing yourself. And only then, when you're able to lead them, will we be able to hit the fifth level of leadership, which is respect. So good luck in managing your remote teams, and remember that we are here for you. So good luck and stay safe and never stop learning. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bam. Wow, another masterful webinar brought to you by Bam Ramirez.
Kaya gusto ko si Jong. Nawawala yung pains ko.
Right. Again, of course, I've known Bam for quite some time now, and Bam truly indeed is one of the masters when it comes to project management. And thank you, Bam, for
thank you, Jong. Love you all. Take care. Stay safe. Never stop learning. We're here for you.
Thank you, Bam. Our pleasure to always have you here. And for the information of the audience, by the way, Bam and I and our team are organizing this full-blown courses on remote project management. So we'll keep you informed as to when the schedule of this full courses on remote project management. And we will send information. You may go to our website, Facebook page, and the YouTube channel at AGF Consulting Group.com. And of course, do not forget to click on the link for the exit survey. So we'd want to know also what your thoughts are, what topics you would like to discuss right here. And again, Bam, hats off to you. Let's give Bam again another round of applause. Wonderful, wonderful webinar. We've learned quite a lot today. So I think that will be it. So thank you, Mike, for organizing this. Mike Lawrence Lumen, thank you so much. And I wish you well. You keep safe, and we hope to see you soon in our next webinar, where we're doing this every Thursday, by the way. So check on our schedule in our Facebook, YouTube, and the website. Every Thursday, we're running different topics related to management systems. Bam, what can I say? Fantastic job.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for the opportunity. Stay safe, everyone. Stay safe.
Bye, everyone.
Love you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.